Milton, this is the second time having a fig event, and this is our first year out to it. And we have had an absolutely wonderful time exchanging figs and meeting everybody and conversing and trading, and then taking us on the tour and showing us your orchard, which is a very impressive orchard. And I thank you for having us out. But about how many trees do you have in your collection now? How many varieties?
I have 50-something mature trees, another 45 out there coming on, and probably another 45, 50 in pots to go in the ground someday.
Yeah. Are you still collecting? Still buying?
Still collecting. Not buying if I can help myself. I'd rather trade.
Me too.
It's cheaper.
I was telling some others that whenever I'd gotten into fig collecting, it was all trade. You get on figs, the Figs for Friends forum, and then I'll mail you a copy of this, you mail me a copy of yours, and they would trade all the figs. And it seems like it's really become commercialized, and some of the figs are like $100 a tree now just to get, you know, some of the latest and greatest. And I think the community needs these little gatherings where selling is not permitted, but trading. And I appreciate you letting us come out and trade some of these different varieties.
Well, I talked about it with a few friends. We had some input from last year. And you get into selling, it's a whole different thing. I just decided it would, for me, I'd rather trade.
Yeah.
Talk figs, trade, set up things for agree. Like lady just left, she's very interested in that GE Neri.
Yeah.
She'll be getting back with me.
That's a good fig.
It's an excellent fig.
And it doesn't get any publicity. Nobody talks about it.
Nobody talks about it, but it's a good fig. It's a large fig.
Yeah.
And it's got good flavor.
And you know that last one that you just showed us in the orchard down there, that yellow one?
That Tashkent.
Tashkent. I'd never heard of that. Well, that's a beautiful tree, and I would love to get one someday.
Show some fig variety stuff that you normally don't see. Now, this ain't tomorrow. I've got to pick figs. But look at the size of these figs.
Goodness gracious, that's huge. The size of that.
Someone wants to know what variety they are.
This is a rock. This is named after Dr. Edward Rock at LSU back in the 50s, 60s.
So this is an Auroric?
No, that is.
Oh, that one over there. I was like, that's the biggest Auroric.
I don't know. The tag said Italian honey. Italian honey is a yellow-green fig.
Right.
Yeah.
Now look at the size of that in that organza bag trying to beat the birds. All right, Rick, what do you think about the size of these figs?
Oh my goodness, that's huge.
Bill, do you sell figs? That's probably the biggest
Yes.
fig I ever.
And he doesn't know what that is.
All right, now as far as flavor goes, this is probably my best tree, lemon.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. I love it.
You mean in terms of flavor?
In terms of flavor,
Lemon.
lemon.
Now, some people say Marseille white, lemon, they're all the same. Would you agree, or would you say it's different?
I don't think so. I think there's minor difference in them.
Okay.
And I have some Marseille white coming, but not today. So I really got nothing to compare it to, with, or against.
Okay.
All right, another large variety. Walk around this tree here.
That's huge. My. Nice big open eye on it. How does that hold up in the rain you've been having?
Well, so far it's been good because the rain has been sporadic.
What is that?
This is magnolia.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes known as Brunswick, sometimes known as whatever you want to call it.
I've had it in the past and I had to get rid of it because it'll always split on me. And I just got tired of
rainy
it.
weather, and so I had my bug friends and such, but I left it alone because it's kind of like show and tell.
Yeah.
For that reason only.
And what do you do for those? You just get them off?
You try to beat the weather. You try to beat the bugs, the birds.
What is this for down here?
Oh,
I know, you need to.
that is supposed to be a deer deterrent. It would flash off and on red at night.
I'm gonna send that
Like a predator eyes. Move it around every 2 or 3 days. Does it work? I don't know.
Okay.
I tried it. I can't say yes or no. It's just, well. Anyway, let's get in the hoop house. Yes, ma'am.
What kind of fencing are you using? I mean, is that to keep the predators out?
And the birds and the bugs and predators and birds mostly.
Is there anything you recommend?
That's just regular old deer netting.
Okay.
These are old style muscadine scuppernings. A guy gave them to me, I planted them. I probably need to pull them up and plant some of the better stuff.
Do you have to have a male and a female for this?
Yeah. All right, the hoop house is hot. It's humid. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time in here.
Wow.
And you can kind of look and ramble, whichever. These 6 here are the LSU Purple that's in pots, sitting above ground.
Oh, yeah, they're way ahead.
My water system, everything is on drip tape and timers. Let's go over this way around. I got this up, goes up that side. This side over here, excuse me.
What you got over here?
These are 3 fig trees that has not produced any, not one fig last year, and I haven't seen one on it yet this year.
Well, they're aggressive.
And irregardless of whatever, they're coming out at the end of the fig season. I'm gonna put them in the ground, but I can use a lot of my space in here better. And these are top crop green beans. This is my second crop. The first crop, I got 27 pounds of beans off of it.
Nice.
What you put in. This is real, let's just say crappy looking here. I left it for one reason, to show you. Have you ever seen leaves that, Rick, you grow,
Chard.
yep. Well, I put this is a mist system on it now. It's a mist sprinkle. And these things doubled in size in about 2 weeks. Instead of just hand watering. I don't know the difference in it. So far I've canned about, I think, 52 quarts off of these so far this year.
Wow. Those are some great looking tomatoes.
Oh good gosh, I've got to turn that water off. All right, walk up above. Let me go back, turn that water off. Too hot in there for you?
Almost feels like Alabama in there.
This is WIP, stands for work in progress.
Yeah, I got a lot of zones like that on my plate.
And I had intended to have it cleaned up, but it didn't happen. I can show you this tree better. This is Tashkent. Tashkent is the capital city in Mozambique, I believe. Let the others get up.
Boy, it's loaded right up, hasn't it? All those figs in there.
This is the daughter. The mother tree is up yonder.
All this is the same tree right here?
Yep. And it's notorious for sprawling. So you need to be able to...
Allow it to sprawl.
Well, better yet, I like to control the sprawling.
Yeah. With a bush hog?
No. All right, now walk around. This is brown turkey tissue culture. Now walk around it and look at the figs on it.
They're huge.
Go around.
Absolutely huge.
Yes.
Oh, I have some stuff from them. They're not far from my house. I agree. That's where I get all my blueberries, and since I have a whole, their plants are cheap if you can get a wholesale account. Yeah, Six Bottoms Nursery. Their big trees are like $6.99 per gallon pot.
Killing me.
I could write.
What do you mean?
Can you say that one more time, the name of the nursery?
The nursery is Bottoms, Bottoms.
Bottoms Nursery. They're really, and you just drive up there and they load it all up.
What was
and
this?
Good.
This
blueberries.
is ground turkey
Really?
tissue culture.
Tissue coat, okay. Looks like it's doing fine.
Now, being that it's a tissue culture, how long did it take to start fruiting?
Second, maybe third year,
2 or 3 years. Okay.
something like that. But, you know, you can't argue with that size. And the flavor is, well, it's good as a regular ground turkey. 1, 2, 3 is ground turkey tissue culture.
Absolutely ginormous. The size of that thing.
More brown turkey.
You said this is LSU Purple tissue culture?
Yes. And this is a totally different fig from regular LSU Purple.
I can tell.
Really?
Sure is.
Well, we got one there that's ready. There's probably enough here, but I think that ain't quite right. But anybody wants one, get it.
Do you have any fig trees for sale?
Not currently. I'm out for the year.
Okay.
What I got is some Scrabble stuff that needs to be reworked, redid.
What kind of plum have we got here? Late season?
I don't know.
That's a really late
Yes.
plum.
It looks like a
Yes, it is.
Stanley.
It's still
Isn't that
green and
nice?
still solid.
That's loaded.
Do you have a pick? I mean, do people come and pick figs?
I haven't done it, and I don't know how it would work because most people don't know when a fig is ripe. Like normally, that fig is standing out drooping, standing up. When it gets ripe, it will lean over, it'll bend over, and be soft. But a lot of times they'll bend over but won't be soft.
You gotta train them. You gotta get
Well,
out here
they're
and train
kind of
them.
like me, they're a little slow.
Training the people, not the. Yeah, you're right. People are slow.
And something else I've noticed on picking figs, you walk around the tree, you pick, then you turn around and go back the way you just came.
Yeah, you'll notice one.
Most of the time you'll find some you didn't notice.
Yeah, it's
That's right.
looking from a different angle.
Yep. See, up through here, I got figs coming on. This thing will be producing right up until frost.
And how old do you think this tree is?
Same age as the brown turkey down there. They all come from, these three come from bottom of America. These 6. 3 of these.
So they're 5-year-old trees?
About 6.
6 years?
About 6 years old, yeah.
And this is LSU Purple also?
Tissue culture.
Yep.
Who hasn't had one?
Is that the LSU Purple?
Tissue culture, yes.
I've never had one. You're good. He's got one.
How many do you have
So
in
that
brown?
one didn't fall over.
This is not the brown turkey. This is
50 something
LSU.
here, and about 40 more over here.
Okay.
Stuff coming on.
Wow.
And who gets the pleasure of picking?
Bad question.
Oh my gosh.
I graze and let the birds
Grandpa
have
would
them.
say the workforce today is me, myself, and I. I'm sure I'm glad you showed up. All right. This is Tashkent.
Wow.
It has no neck, virtually no neck. It grows in clusters. It is a yellow fig, and it will get up 7.5 inches around with a cloth tape measure.
What's the name?
Tashkent.
Okay.
It's the Tash. It's
There's
the.
one right there that's right, straight on.
See here. See the tag.
Yep,
Oh,
you're
I
right in
see
the
it.
same spot.
Okay. Yeah.
Take that, Beetle.
You wanna?
Well, trying to hold it so you get pictures of it.
Is an odd name.
Well, Tashkent is the capital of the little country of Mozambique, I believe.
It's a great looking city.
And, all right, let me get it off and I get my knife out. It wants to fall apart with me. But it is different from other figs, the fact that it has sections in it similar to a grapefruit.
Wow.
We all at the same time go, oh.
When you cut it in half like that.
Well, this thing got pest going there.
That looks wonderful.
But you could see the little sections in it, you know, similar to a grapefruit.
Yeah. Oh, that looks wonderful.
That's good. The ants are bad. Ants, is it, whatever you want to call them.
How would you rate that on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as flavor? How do you think it fares out?
I'd go at least a 9.
A 9? Wow, that's pretty high.
What time is this again?
It's
A 9 out of 10.
It's got flavor.
Tashkent.
When do you sell your figs?
Whenever they get ripe.
No, the plants, the trees.
Oh.
In the spring or
Usually-
midsummer?
I like to keep them till around the first of the year. Try to get them as far along as I can.
Okay.
Get them as bulletproof as I can. Not everybody handles them like you do, like you would. Not everybody knows what you do about it. They don't know. You know, a lot of people take it, stick it in the ground, walk off and get it. Well, it didn't grow for me.
Yeah.
Well, did you fertilize it? Did you water it? No.
What kind of juice is that over there?
Lye, I believe. And that one's good. That one may be coming back from the root, or else I got one limb right above the graft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like a rootstock leaf pattern.
Probably. Well, I want to see what it's like, and if nothing else, I'll get a limb or two off of that one. And
Graft to it.
my neighbor down the road is a tree professor at the university. He's into grafting and all that kind of stuff. And something I want to get into is Japanese persimmons. And what is so neat about those, you can take a regular old persimmon tree, like a bird or dog dropped a seed and it's sprouted come up. Even if it's a male tree, you can graft a female limb onto it and produce.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't either till my neighbor was telling me about it. And that's why you see little persimmon trees left standing instead of the big bend mower getting it. So
Oh,
I've
man,
got
plenty to graft on.
I've got Fuji, Matsumoto, giant Fuji, and another one up at the house. I've
You
got
gotta
4
try.
different
You
varieties.
gotta add Seijo to that.
Yes.
Seijo to me is the best persimmon there is.
I've heard that.
I'm gonna look,
Yeah.
I'll look into that.
So the
Is
fact,
Seijo astringent?
Yes, it is astringent.
Yeah.
It's worth
You've
having.
got a big one up here at the house, right? Isn't that what that is?
that's a regular old
Old
American
pers-
persimmon.
Yep. That's what ebony's made out of wood, right? Ebony wood?
I don't know.
Yeah, they make golf clubs.
I've heard that because
Yep.
it's real hard, dense
Yep.
wood.
Ebony is
And
really
I've
persimmon.
got that big tree you see sticking straight up ahead. That is a male persimmon tree. I've been here 49 years, and that tree it was like that when I came here. It doesn't produce a persimmon,
Yeah.
but I got a persimmon tree right behind that swing set up there.
I saw one up there. That bark is really distinctive.
Well, that's about it as far. Now,
Nice.
please be careful. Watch your feet. There are some vacant holes around here, like right there. I had access to a 24-inch auger one time. I used it, but I hadn't got the holes filled up yet.
Well, thank you for showing us your property.
Well, you know where cuttings are.
Well, I appreciate it. But I might circle back with you and try to get a tree from you someday or something.
And
Maybe.
I anticipate rooting more.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to get back into it. I've had some personal setbacks, which,
Yeah.
you know, crap happens, life goes on.
Yeah.
You have to decide to put it together and move on with it.
Yeah. I had collected figs probably in 2015. And then between all that, I'd went through a divorce and relocation and moving my figs and getting reestablished. And It's probably been 5 years since I've been active in the fig community, but it's good to get back in it, and it's good to pick back up and get active in it.
I made something for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to recognize your generosity for hosting this event.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so I made something simple for you.
Yes, I can
Because
put
I
my
figure
figs
you're
in
a
it.
simple person,
Yes.
just like me. Okay.
Yes.
So here it is. I put your name in here,
Okay.
and also the date and the Fig and Rama 2022.
Good deal.
So here you go, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You like it.
It is something that will be used frequently.
Okay.
Good.
I'm
like
glad
it.
to hear that. All right. Thank you.
Yes.
And thank you all.
Last year, a few people went through the hoop house. It's still hot, it's humid. A lot of stuff growing in there, and got planned for more stuff growing. And after this year, the fig trees will be coming out because where's okay, the guy with the hat on right there? That's my fig buddy. And we have learned a lot about growing in pots and growing in the ground. And I think the major, okay, I'm sorry, wrong hat. That's him right here. I'm making butt out of him too. But anyway, I think a lot of it, what people miss is the ground temperature will stay pretty much constant year round. Once you get below frost line, whatever that is, and around here it's probably 6-8 inches at best, the temperature will stay 58 to 60 degrees year round. Now, where does that fig grow? It grows in the ground. If the ground doesn't warm up, the fig is just sitting there with its feet in a cold grave, literally. That's as simple as I can put it. But I've got figs in a pot. These are 30-gallon black pots. And the difference is, it's sitting on the ground, but it is growing up above the ground. And they got figs on them, you know, figs you can pick today. But those over there in the ground, no figs. On some of them, and just starting on the others. What's the difference? All I can figure is the difference between, you know, you have the ambient temperature, like the air up here above ground. But if you go check this ground, you're probably going to be in the low 70s. That's why people had root cellars, because it was colder. So you can grow in warm up above, or you can grow in cold down below, and depending on the crop, whatever it is. So that's been pretty much our consensus on that. And he's got figs trying in the corner down there. They will tell you generally do not root figs in winter. Well, was it December 10th you put them in the ground? Some of them are growing happily and some are struggling. But you can see the results of them down there. Just something he come up with, and I said, well, we'll mark this corner off and we'll do it. So, and then too, there's a lot to be said about pruning. I've showed that with these figs down here. These over here hadn't been pruned, but it's very easy to double or sometimes even almost triple your crop just by pruning and fertilizing at the right time. And he made an observation on fertilizing. Bill, tell him about that.
I forgot. But Milton has rooted a cutting which he laid horizontally. Now it's like 4 feet high. And that's one way of getting multiple plants out of just one cutting. So.
And you'd be surprised at how often it works. And, you know, just leave your node and maybe that much on each side, plant it. Either it will or it won't, but you stick those 3 or 4 nodes in the ground, how do you know it's going to grow? You got one shot at it, or you got 3 or 4 at the other. So figure your odds and work with nature as best as you can.
But on fertilizer, Milton suggested some organic fertilizer. One was 545 and the other was Micros 333. He's been using it for several years. And I started using it on my potted fig plants, and I've had tremendous results. So I've never had so much figs on my trees. They are just growing in clusters, and they're doing real good. So I'm real happy, thankful to Milton. He guided me to the right direction.
We bounce ideas off each other. And so find your fig friends, try this, try that. If it works, you're ahead. If it don't, what have you lost? Hopefully not a whole lot. But it is doable, and most people can improve what they got, what they're doing. Just have to work at it and be observant. Like I have one fig tree, which I'd never noticed. It's a young tree. But that fig has a neck probably 2 inches long on it. And I haven't seen that before. Now what will it be when it gets grown? I don't know, but we'll see in a few months. So, any questions, anyone?
Plus, Milton has come up where you can increase the shelf life of a fig, and I think he'll mention it.
Let me go to the hoop house. I'll be right back.
Oh, that's dirty.
It's close enough.
Okay. Do you guys want to do a question and answer session?
He can probably answer for you.
Gardeners are introverts, man. We're all just here for the figs. What do you need, an LSU? LSU red.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the red, I have the purple.
I have 2 at home. So next year, well, I kept 2.
Well, if I can help you, assist you in any way, let me know, and we'll, like I say, we'll trade it out further down the road.
Yeah, I'm sure that the event will continue to grow if you continue to have it and host one. I know this one was probably way bigger than it was last year.
Forgot to ask Denise what the head count was last year. Is either 23 or 29.
And it doubled that this year.
We had 44 initially, said they would, but I never did a head count, so I don't know.
Yeah, we still had a good turnout. And it was really good for everybody to get together and talk and exchange
We had
knowledge.
a lot of the same people from last year, a lot of new friends, a lot of new people like you that decided to come out. And should we continue it, I'd like to, like for you to continue to come out, support it, be a part of it, and contribute to it as you can.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I know we drove almost 6 hours up, and there's a couple from North Carolina that drove about 6 hours down. So you've had a pretty big draw from the community to come to this event. And it was nice. It was nice to have the shade trees and everything set up, and it was nice to have the food and everybody ate. I enjoyed all that.
And who would have thought people would have drove 300 miles one way just to talk figs?
Just to talk figs. Well, Milton, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time and having us out.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming out.
All right, guys.
Hope you learned something, and we'll look forward to it again next year.
Yeah, and if you've not been out to Milton's event, try to make plans if you're in the area. Plane tickets are getting cheaper. Fly down if you're not in the immediate area, and come hang out with us and share the knowledge. Appreciate having you along.
Yes, it'll look class to the event.
And don't forget to keep growing, keep building, and always keep adventuring. And together, we're Farmington famous. See you next time. Hey Brian, I got an LSU fig.
In Georgia, nonetheless.
I come to Georgia and picked up an LSU fig.
There you go.